It's amazing what the journey of pregnancy can teach us in life. And as a first time expecting mama, that's something that I was not expecting. There is so much to be learned through the journey of pregnancy, and we're going to talk about those things. If you're new here, I'm Naomi, 38 weeks pregnant, so baby girl could come at any point. And I'm also preparing for a natural unmedicated water birth. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But let's go ahead and get into these unexpected life lessons because, like I said, it's something that I was not expecting until actually going through this process. So if you're a first time expecting mama, maybe these are things that you can relate to. If you are looking to be pregnant soon, then these are things that you could look forward to. And if you've already had children, then these are things that you probably can relate back to and be like, oh yeah, that is something that I definitely learned during pregnancy. One life lesson that we learn in pregnancy is adapting to constant change and also learning to let go of control. There's so much happening with our bodies that we cannot control. You know, there's stretch marks that may come as much as we try to moisten our bellies and keep it moisturized. If the stretch marks are going to be there, they're going to be there. And that's something that we can't control. And so we have to learn to let go of that. The pelvic pain, the hip pain, the lower back pain, or soreness or tightness. That's stuff that we can do as much as we can to help keep ourselves comfortable and to help prevent it as much as possible. But if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. The same with symptoms, whether it's nausea, vomiting in, the early trimesters, if it's the way that you feel if you're having headaches, if your energy is low, there are things that we can do to help those things. But at the end of the day, we can't necessarily control them. Again, we can do as much as we can, but if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And that's something in life that we can definitely take and use in anything that we do, is that we can only control as much as we can control. And honestly, the rest we just have to let go. And so that's a big life lesson that we can take in pregnancy, is to adapt to that constant change, to be vulnerable in a sense, and to be moldable and to move with the changes, and also learn to let go of the control. Only control what you can control and be okay with letting go the rest. The next life lesson that we can learn in pregnancy is accepting help and support, and actually asking for help and support. And I know a lot of the times it can be difficult to ask for help or to accept it. And in pregnancy, there are things that we just get to a point to where we can't do. Lifting certain things, moving certain things, like getting up. I ask my husband a lot to help me. Like I'll, reach my hand out so that he can help me get up. Like if I'm sitting on the floor or something, if I need help picking up something heavy, especially picking up something heavy and putting it over my head. I don't have an issue moving certain things or picking up certain weights, but there is definitely a point where I'm not doing the same things that I was doing before I got pregnant. And then those are the things that I have had to get to a point where I'm comfortable asking for help. And so, again, I know that it can be hard for us to ask for help, but in pregnancy, we really learn to lean on the people that love us and support us the most, and it can be a gift to them. A lot of people really enjoy and find a lot of happiness in helping us and in supporting us. So through us getting help, we're also gifting them that ability to help us and support us in the way that they want to, especially if they offer it. Because if they offer it, most of the time they're genuine and they really want to help you. And so you accepting that also is a gift to not only yourself, but to them. The next life lesson that we can learn in pregnancy is how to deal with discomfort. And discomfort comes definitely in pregnancy. We all experience discomfort at some point in our pregnancy. Everybody's level of discomfort is different, but this really builds up mental strength. And outside of pregnancy, there are a lot of discomforts that we deal with in life. Not every day goes the way that we want it to. Not everything in life goes the way that we want it to all the time. And there are times where we experience discomfort in life. And so that's something that we can learn from pregnancy during a time where our bodies are changing and we can't control it. And we have to learn to adapt to it. Again, going back to the first lesson that we can learn, but really just learning how to deal with the discomfort, learning how you can help make yourself the most comfortable during pregnancy through that discomfort. But then also outside of pregnancy, like I said, dealing with those day-to-day challenges if you're having discomforts in life or when life presents its challenges. This is a time where you can relate back to during your pregnancy when things were not in your control and you had to learn how to adapt to the discomfort. And so now you have that mental strength and even the physical strength to deal with the discomforts of your daily life when they present themselves. The next life lesson that we can learn in pregnancy is that the little things really do matter, and that time really does go by and we have to live in the present moment. Things like feeling your baby kick for the first time, that's not something that you'll experience again, or feeling them move around. If you have multiple children, then this is something that you can experience multiple times, of course, but you only get one time feeling this baby that you have inside you do all these things and reach all these milestones, feeling the flutters for the first time, the first kick, the first time that you see their little foot sticking out, the first time that you see the sonogram. You start to realize that all these little moments are so special and you only get to experience them once with this pregnancy. And so that's definitely something that we can take in life, is to really enjoy all the small moments, to take time to slow down, to be present, to smell the roses, like the saying says, and to really be present, because time really does go by, whether we are being intentional about being present in the moment or if our minds are stuck in the future or in the past. The next life lesson that we can learn in pregnancy is one that is very, very, very huge. And it actually hit me really hard early on in pregnancy. And that is the belief and faith in the unknown. I'm sure you can relate to being early in pregnancy and low-key being in denial about being pregnant. Like, okay, you take a pregnancy test and it's positive, but you don't see anything yet and you don't necessarily feel anything yet. And then having to wait like until 8 or 10 or 12 weeks to have your first appointment. And maybe you found out at 4 or 5 weeks that you were pregnant, and now you're having to wait 4 or 5 weeks more until you're actually seen, until you actually do an ultrasound to confirm it. And so that whole time you're just wondering, like, is this real? Like, is my baby okay? Like, am I really pregnant? And so it's a time where you really learn to have belief and faith in the unknown. And this is something that honestly I could get emotional about, because I remember being early on in my pregnancy and having to wait for a while before I saw my baby growing or saw the sonogram like with her on it, or before I felt her move. And I'm sure that you can relate to that, because honestly it wasn't really up until I started feeling her move that I really started having something to go off of to know that she's okay. And again, that is belief and faith in the unknown, trusting that your body is growing your baby even when you don't see it happening. And so again, this is definitely one that really hit me hard, and it's a life lesson that I'm definitely taking from this pregnancy. The next life lesson that you learn in pregnancy is that you're stronger than you think. Even on days where you feel like I've had enough or this pain is too much to bear, you still get through that day. Like, it's not like your pregnancy just stops and it's done and it's over. You actually get through that discomfort and that pain and those challenges. You're stronger than you think. And it's more so mental than it is physical. Our physical bodies deal with a lot of discomfort and challenges during pregnancy because it's something new. It's our body is changing in ways that we have not experienced before, and it can be uncomfortable. And a lot of it is beautiful. Pregnancy is such a beautiful thing. I don't want to take away from that. But there are discomforts that we feel during the process. But those are physical things, and it takes our mental to get through those things. And so we realize that we are stronger than we think. Our minds are stronger than we think, because it takes our minds being strong in order for us to get through these physical challenges. And so you realize that you can handle more than you really think. Again, on days where you feel like you've had enough or it's just too much, you still get through it. And so that's a life lesson that we can take outside of pregnancy, is that even on days where we feel like life is too much, like we have too much on our plate, we still can get through it. And again, our bodies, our physical flesh will give up before our minds do. And so it's really about tapping into our mental space and being strong there, and tapping into that strength and using it to keep going even when our bodies try to tap out on us. So these are the life lessons that we can take from pregnancy, and it's amazing how much we can learn and grow through this process, not just in pregnancy but outside of it as well. The lessons that we can take to really grow as a person, as a woman, and really excel in life with these life lessons. And if you're not already, make sure you subscribe, and I wish you the best in your pregnancy journey.